Can you give us something right here and now that would be that tipping point to have us throw our support to you?
Well, I think at the end of the day, you have to look at two things. You have to look at, number one, a person's record, and I believe that I have a proven conservative record. It's one thing to have a philosophy. It's one thing to engage in rhetoric. It's quite another to have a record, and I have a record over the last 8 years that people can look at, and people have looked at it, and I think most people who look at it say this is a conservative person who has stood up for his constituents year after year in the legislature, fighting for lower taxes, fighting for reduced regulations, and fighting to create an environment in Southside Virginia where jobs can be created. And while we have lost thousands of jobs because of our downturn in our economy, we've also created thousands of jobs by adopting pro-business policies in Richmond and by using things like the Tobacco Commission, which is non-tax dollars, to try to encourage job growth. I think that the record is critical. If you look at my conservative values that I have stood for again and again, whether it's on issues affecting our Second Amendment, pro-life, all those issues are things that, look at my record, clear as a bell. The second thing is who can win the race. I had proven that I can beat Tom Perriello because of the amount of grassroots support that I have across this district. I represent a third of the district already, and I've demonstrated that I can win elections. I've won 5 elections in the last 10 years, never won with anything less than 62% of the vote, because I know how to win an election, and I've done it 5 times. I've beat Democrats and independents, and I'm very proud of that record. And finally, I think financial strength is very important. I'm very proud to have raised $300,000 in the last 2 weeks of the fourth quarter last year, and very proud of that. Very proud of the hundreds of people who stepped up and contributed to our campaign. So I think that those are the reasons that I think that I am the best candidate. I have absolute respect for my opponents. I do believe that they share my same conservative values, but at the end of the day, you have to look at the person's record, and I believe I have that record and I have that proven ability to beat Tom Perriello, and that's what I'm focused on.